Okay, we are now officially recording. So welcome everybody to the first ever Kerr, I should say Kerr Menzie virtual Thanksgiving. So we're going to start promptly here at 1 o'clock. What we're going to do is we're going to give everyone an opportunity to share, and I'd ask you to share three things. If you don't have to do all three, but if you can do all three, that would be great. A particular Thanksgiving memory, something that you're grateful for, and some dream that you have for the future. I'll ask you please to keep your microphone muted so we can give everyone a chance to speak. And we are, as I mentioned before, we are going to be recording the gathering. And Dennis, we look forward to your suggestions in terms of how to improve things. But we do have some ground rules here. So I'll call upon everybody. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call on everybody just in the order they appear on the screen to keep it nice and simple. And John, I see you're sitting there. That's fine. So you can, anyone who's sitting with someone else, Anna and Charlie, and I think Susan and Dennis and Phil and Valerie, it's okay when you're called upon, if you want to pass the mic to the person next to you, that's fine. We've got over 20 people here. We want to try to do it in an hour. So please try to keep your comments brief. And again, if you feel a need to share that goes beyond the 3-minute minimum, the maximum that you have, the chat box is open. You can enter a comment in chat at any time, and you can also go and see what other people are saying in chat at other time, anytime. Once everyone's got a chance to speak, then what we'll do is we'll just open it up to everybody, and we'll have unorganized mayhem. And we've scheduled I've got a mistake there, my first mistake. We can actually flex until I think you said 1 to 2 till 2:30 if necessary. Okay. So what I'm going to do, just to give you kind of an example here, to show you that it is possible to do this briefly, is people are entering the room. I got to let them in. Okay. So just a brief Thanksgiving memory that I have. I had my sister Noelle live with me for about 3 years. And one time we hosted Thanksgiving. And of course, when you're the host, you get to kind of set the ground rules for Thanksgiving. And we agreed there would be no children's table because we had the memory of always being stuck at the children's table. And we were the last people to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner the day we hosted it. And we discovered that we, in fact, were sitting at the children's table. Nice memory of my sister Noelle. Something I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my wife. Hi, Sue. A little smile there. I'm grateful for Susan every day. I'm grateful for Jesus as our Savior. I'm grateful for my family. And I'm particularly grateful today for my brother Charlie and my niece Ashley for suggesting that we do this today. And something that I'm hopeful for, a dream for the future, I think, I do tend to be optimistic and upbeat. And I know this has been a dark time for the COVID on many different levels. But I hope for the future there have been good things that have come out of this experience, and I hope that the good that comes out of it survives after the virus thankfully passes. Okay, so that's my 2 cents, and I'm just going to go see who appears at the top of my screen. And Phil and Valerie, why don't you guys go first? So you got to unmute your mic and then share whatever you would like to share.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. This is very, very nice. This is the first Thanksgiving, which would have been our 50th Thanksgiving to have in our house. But unfortunately, we'll have to celebrate our 50th Thanksgiving next year. But a good memory I have is before we got married, we came to your house, Danny and Dennis, and where are we, Charlie? And we came to Duck Island, and that was my first visit with you guys. And you were downstairs, and we had Thanksgiving. I think it was either November of '67 or November of '66. So that was one of those 2 years before we got married. And we came out there, and everyone was there. I'm trying to remember. I think Sean and your brother. I mean, you guys were teeny tiny young kids. And Daniel, you were like about 12 years old or something at the time. So I know you were young, maybe. So that was my memory of meeting your family. And I just looked around and I said, oh my goodness, what a huge family. But it was a nice experience, a nice memory.
And we're grateful for our family, and we're glad that we will see our sisters on Zoom later and our children.
Oh, you just got muted accidentally. Sorry, guys. Put your mic back on. I may have done that accidentally.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
Was I
This
talking?
Yes, you were speaking about the kids. We're gonna have a Zoom.
Oh, we're going to have a Zoom later
I
with
have everybody else on, but I don't.
our sister.
Okay, once more, Valerie. I'm sorry. It's Allison. Allison, please keep your mic muted. Go ahead.
That's all right. We're grateful for the unmuting. And our dream for the future is, I hope the COVID goes away eventually.
Yes, and the vaccine comes soon, and we can have, it won't be normal. Nothing will ever be normal, but it'll be a different future, and hopefully it'll be a better future. How's that?
Good. Thank you,
Thank you.
guys. Okay, Big Chicken, you're up next. Got to come off mute, Charlie.
That's okay. I'm unmuted. You guys hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Okay. Thanksgiving, by far my favorite holiday. I just love Thanksgiving. I love getting together. I can remember as a little guy, Huntington Bay, my mom and Aunt B would share different places they would host things and how we would get people together. It always seemed to work, just all the excitement. It wasn't gift giving or things like that. It was just people telling stories. I was always fascinated to engage with my cousins, but certainly my uncles and my aunts and listening to what Thanksgiving was like for them growing up. It was just invaluable. I mean, stories is what sustains us in life, and certainly has been challenging, but I'm grateful for those times. And I know in Asheroken, it got in that basement, it got real creative between folding tables, picnic tables, ping pong tables. It was very creative. We've tried to continue on with that. And we've had other times, hey, Harrison, you saying hello? Yeah, Harrison. I got my grandson back there in the back. He's been out playing in the mud. Good traditional Kerr. So, those are things I'm grateful just for those experiences. Hope springs eternal. I think, Abraham Lincoln said people are about as happy as they choose to be. I think you have to focus on the things that are moving in the right direction, and certainly the relationships we have with each other, and an understanding and a relationship with higher authority. For me as a Christian, that's Christ. But there are other faith communities out there also. Understanding that, and I'm just very optimistic. I think there are a lot of challenges, but I think people. I did appreciate that there will not be the same normal once we move forward with the vaccines. It's going to be different. And what sustains you is your, relationship with the Lord, your family, and your vocation, whatever your calling is. And I feel very optimistic about that. I really do. And I'm grateful. And Dan, this is kind of a crazy way to do it, but I'm excited to see people. I find that I haven't really aged too much. I just have to keep my glasses off. I just look blurry. But age is fun. It's all good. Thank you. I appreciate the forum, guys. Thank you very much. Love all you guys.
Here, Harrison. Dan, put your mic on.
Sean, why don't we go to Sean? Sean, you want to come off mute?
Yep. You guys hear me? Just
Yep.
thumbs up. All right. Excellent. Well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm here with my girls, Rachel, my youngest, and my lovely wife, Morticia Adams, back here. Decided to go with the all black today for Thanksgiving. I've got the farmer shirt on. So, what's that?
That's my
Serious? And Uncle Daniel, thank you so much for setting this up. This is great.
Awesome.
And Allison, Skip, we see you guys. Wish you could be here. Understand why you can't. Thanksgiving memory. I have so many. When Phil was talking about, 66 or 67, my mind went back to Asheroken and when I was a little kid going to Nanny and Grandpa's for all those holidays. And, those are treasured memories. A recent memory I have, which includes Aunt Allison and Uncle Skip, is about 5 years ago, we had a major snowstorm up here in New Hampshire. They had come up. Alex was here, Mark and Jan were here, Robert, everybody, and we had a major snowstorm and a power outage for several days. People ended up eating Chinese food, couldn't cook. You know, things were really bad. And finally, when we got together, which was I think the day after Thanksgiving, we decided that instead of going through all the cooking and everything, we would just go to a restaurant, and which was a lot of fun, and we had a great time. But I thought the funniest thing was, I believe everyone except one person ordered prime rib instead of turkey, which just cracked me up. Yeah, so it shows how much, you know, after Thanksgiving's over, everybody really likes to eat turkey. It just cracked me up. Like, I think Mark started it with the king size cut of prime rib,
Which he finished.
Which
promptly.
he finished, yeah. So something I'm grateful for is of course my family, my girls, my extended family, you know, my stepsisters, my family through all the crazy turns that my life has taken over the years. I'm grateful for all of it. It's you know, been really special, and you know, have a huge extended family and direct family. So I'm really grateful for all that. Dream of the future, you know, that my girls continue to do so well. They both turned into very successful young women. Rachel's going to graduate in May and already has a job in the management training program with Target. Brianne, who couldn't be here today because she has gotten sick, she's okay, but you know, because of she works with kids and everything over in Keene, New Hampshire, she's had to get tested for COVID, and she won't have the answers to that until next week. So we're going to do another Thanksgiving sometime in December. But my dream for the future is just, you know, to get back to whatever normal is. I don't know. I mean, I think this is normal, and I think it's, you know, just different. So really enjoy it. And I think I'm going to pass my wife the microphone because she always has something to say. And if I don't let her say it, I will regret it. So love you guys. Laura is next. Okay.
Well, I just, I would agree with Sean about that memory. That was a very wonderful Thanksgiving, the one with the snowstorm, the blizzard, because Skip and Allie got snowed in. Xander's car broke down, and everybody ended up being here for days. Like, I don't remember, Skip and Ellie, was it a week you guys were here? It was
yeah.
awesome. And you bought us so much chocolate, and I miss the chocolate, and I miss you guys very much this year. And just a last comment about that, and Rachel might actually say that, we would go out on Black Friday, which is Thanksgiving night at midnight with Xander, to do Black Friday shopping. And I miss that. I miss that. And the next day, Allie would join us, and we'd go all over LL Bean, right? And all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, those are great times. I miss you guys.
Thank you, Laura. Rachel, anything?
I'm just thankful for family. Oh, hey.
Oh, there you go.
There she is.
Okay.
I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful to have a full-time job secured after college. I'm thankful to be graduating. I'm definitely excited to move on past school and start living in the real world. So there's just a lot of great things, even in the midst of all this, that is happening right now. So
That's
I'm very
great.
thankful. And
Thanks,
grateful.
Thanks, Rachel. Okay, why don't I call on Linda and Claude? Linda, you got to turn your mic on. Everyone else, please keep their muted. We'll give Linda a second. She's worth waiting for. Okay. Okay, looks like you're looking for the button. And Linda, what we'll do, it looks like we're not hearing you, so we'll come back to you. When you get your microphone to work, you just come in and we'll pick you up at that point. Okay. All right. How about I see the Dowding family, a large group there. Amy, Paul, Elizabeth, John, Dennis. Okay, Amy, you got to unmute your mic. Paul, I got faith in you, Paul. Okay, looks like we got some mic challenges here. Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay, while Paul is playing with his mic, Ashley, you want to chirp in?
Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, now it's working.
Excited to see you in all the little boxes. So what are my instructions? Hi. Well, now everyone's coming to the screen. Okay. Let's see, a Thanksgiving memory. Well, this is a little bit of I mean, it's a different Thanksgiving for everybody, but it's also different for us. We usually, for the most part, we spend Thanksgiving with Mark's parents. And unfortunately, his father passed away this summer. And due to COVID, none of us were able to go be with his mom in North Carolina, but we did Zoom for a while this morning. So that was, Mark's one of 5 kids. So that was a nice size gathering of people. Another Thanksgiving memory, and I'll keep it short, is I remember when Nanny moved up to Long Island. I think it was for Thanksgiving. I can't think of what other holiday it would have been. I remember her having, obviously it couldn't be everybody, but whoever was within driving distance, we were all in her tiny little house. And I remember sitting like next to someone's feet, there weren't enough chairs. We were just all kind of cozy there and thinking how wonderful it was and how grateful I was to have such a large family. And it's, this isn't the same, but at least I can see faces in the little boxes. Something we're grateful for, it's sort of obvious, right? But I'm grateful that we have this technology and we can do this and we can at least see each other a little bit. And I got a chance to see Uncle Charlie and Aunt Susan and Uncle Dan this morning. I'm grateful that my kids have been able to be in school, at least part-time for a little while. The way things are going in New York on Long Island, I'm not sure that's going to continue, but it gave them at least some normalcy. And their teachers have been amazing about, normalizing, appropriate mask use and hand cleaning. And up until a week or two ago, the COVID cases were really low in their schools. Unfortunately, it's starting to pop up and they may be going fully remote, but because of the technology, at least they'll be able to keep learning. And a dream for the future, I guess it's been said, but it would be so nice to see so many of you in person. But at least we have the little boxes today, so we can kind of feel like we're together. Want to add anything?
I'm thankful for my lovely wife and for our beautiful children. And I think things, I'm an optimist, and I think things are going to get a little bit off track here for a while, but I'm confident that it's going to turn around pretty quickly. So I'm praying that that's happening, and I'm happy to see you all. I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Ashley. Thanks, Emmy. Okay. Why don't we go to Lauren? You want to come off mute? Oh, John, okay, you're waiting for the technician, and then we'll get to the Dowdings, who I have confidence have their microphone figured out.
My family is wandering off. I need you, little brother. Come back. Okay, well, I will start, but I'm here with quite a number of Kerrs, and we have multiple laptops because you can't tell right now, but there's actually a lot of us in the house. Thanksgiving memory for me, I have a memory of going home for Thanksgiving or celebrating Thanksgiving in so many different houses over the years, moving around so much as a military kid. And I think the thing that just comes home to me is it always felt like home, no matter where we were. We were in a, strange little townhouse, or I don't remember when we lived in the trailer. I don't remember the Thanksgiving then, but Mom and Dad always made it feel like home. And that's a memory that I treasure. And it's put us in good stead with Tony and me moving around quite a bit, and actually this Thanksgiving where we're not able to be home. A couple things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Uncle Danny putting this together. Really very thoughtful. And I have to have a shout out to my cousin Ashley, who came up with a similar idea about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and was trying to organize a similar thing. So big kudos to our family. And I've never seen this many of our family and friends together for a Thanksgiving. So though I'm, it's a really difficult situation right now, I have to say that this is pretty cool where I get to see so many at the same time. And I just want to send you all my love and hope that everybody's pie turns out really well. I'm baking a few right now. And my brother is right here. He's going to come and say hello.
Thank you, Lauren. All right, as your grandpa, every time I see MASH, I think of how Grandpa used to call you Hot Lips.
That. Thank you for that memory.
Yeah, hey everybody. Hey, Uncle Danny, thanks for putting this together. Okay, so memories. I think Thanksgiving is by far my favorite holiday, and I just have too many memories of different family gatherings, whether it was at a relative's house, our own house. A number of years we've chosen to go to the beach and rent a big house and pile everybody in. And so I guess that kind of encompasses my memories. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my entire family, who everybody is finally coming in.
Grocery store. Hi, guys.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I'm grateful for my extended family too. I'm grateful for Uncle Denny and putting this thing together. Every year I make a point of reading the proclamation that established Thanksgiving as a holiday. It was George Washington. I think it was like 1789. But I think this, what we're doing right now, although I don't think it could have been envisioned by our founding fathers on how we got together and celebrated this holiday. I think this is perfectly in line with what they were hoping that we would do. And I am my thoughts for the future, my hopes for the future. I'm an optimistic guy. I'm optimistic about our country. This COVID thing's tough on everybody. But I've got faith in our country, and I've got faith in the future. I've had the okay, I'm done. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, John. Jen, you want anything? The girls want anything?
No, I don't think so. Just wish we could all be together.
Okay, this will come. This will come. Okay, thank you. And the Downings, are you ready now?
I think we are. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. We're all yours.
Okay. So I have a funny Thanksgiving memory in that, well, I'll just tell it. So for a lot of years, when we were probably younger than my nieces over there, we lived in North Carolina, and we're lucky enough to be close to Uncle Charlie and Aunt Carolyn. And there were a couple of years that some Northerners came south for Thanksgiving. One year in particular, I remember being at our house. I know we spent a couple in Raleigh, but one in particular, I remember at our house. I remember being in the dining room, and I remember finally being old enough to join the grown-ups in playing hearts. And I remember my grandmother telling me, our dear beloved Nana, that it wasn't cheating if you didn't get caught. So there's a funny little story to share. Something I am grateful for are my nieces, who give me my second favorite Thanksgiving memory. And that is Gigi and Vivi couldn't have been more than 2. And we were spending Thanksgiving at the beach, as John described, in a big old house. And my parents brought with them something that if you haven't seen in person, it's going to be hard to describe. But it is, are mom and dad on? When they talk, they're going to have to show it. It is this.
Amy, it's in the background in their picture.
Oh, I can't see them on my view. For those of you lucky enough to see my parents, you can see the turkey apparently, but it is a mechanical light up turkey whose head moves from side to side. And when my darling girls were 2, they were so amazed by it that we were in the middle of having this dance party, and we looked around, and the 2 of them were just imitating this bird with such concentration and focus. They were one with this thing, and it will forever be a favorite Thanksgiving memory of mine. I have often asked them to recreate it. I'm not sure they'll do it for us right now, but maybe someday. So there, girls, I miss you and I love you. I'm also grateful for the people who are sitting around me on this couch. I'm happy to have Dennis home from school. I'm happy he got to go to school. And my dream for the future is that my parents have one more per backyard gathering in their future. That is my hope. Oh, do you have anything to say? Yeah.
Paul, you want anything? Yeah. Okay, Paul, you want anything? And the boys, Elizabeth?
I'm not as obnoxious as the other British that actually drove the Pilgrims here in the first place. So, I'm grateful for something.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, let's call on Skip, who has the best hat award. So you got to unmute your mic, Allison. It's a little. You got to find a little switch to turn on your mic. There you are. You're on. You go. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, yeah. We also have these guys that are joining us.
I'll first tell you about the hat. And the hat is probably 20 years old. My sister is a craft person. So for holidays, way back when, she used to make Jerry and I and her brother-in-law hats. So this is the Thanksgiving hat. I also have a Christmas hat. And I have another one, I don't remember.
You have a Halloween
hat with
a ghost on it.
anyway, I first of all, I'm thankful that I'm part of the Kerr family. It's, my goodness, 53 years and never had a fight.
Oh, God, I knew he was going to say
But
that.
anyway, the story I will tell is not exactly a Thanksgiving story, but I think I was out on business in LA and wound up over a weekend going up to see Dennis, Susan, and family when they were at Fort Ord. And the car I rented happened to have a sign in the trunk that a for sale sign for a house, and it had various plates like in-ground pool, 3.5 baths, etc. So I gave it to Dennis and I said, Dennis, you want this? So, and Dennis and Susan are on the base. Dennis puts it in front of the house where they were living. The next day, Saturday, I went up on a Friday. The next day, Saturday, Dennis and I are going golfing and we're in the golf cart, and the 3-star passes in the other direction. And he said to Dennis, if you get any bites on the sign, can I borrow it? Yeah. So anyway, I cheated a little, but I remember that as having a great visit with them. So Allie?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I remember the big monstrosity that Mom had, and it was downstairs when we moved to Asheroken and upstairs when we lived in Huntington's Bay. But I remember it full in Asheroken, distinctly full of pies, like full of desserts. And you had to go through the dinner part to get to the desserts. And I also remember how the Menzies used to join us, and Noel being married. And so we would time our dinner different than her husband's dinner with his family. And I remember Aunt Bee bringing a cheesecake, and it was a ricotta cheesecake. I think it was an Italian cheesecake, and I never had one before, and I thought it was absolutely delicious. And I enjoyed all the memories of having everybody come together. And I'm glad we passed muster, Phil, when you first came. And what I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for my life and my family and my extended family. And also yesterday I had to have another screening from my mammogram, and it came out okay. It was like the second one and a sonogram, whatever, but it came out fine. So I'm very thankful for that. What I look for in the future is I look for everybody getting together and for our country to come together, and for this COVID thing to be over, like everybody else.
Amen.
Amen. And I can't sing, and I sing at church, and I haven't sang since the spring, and I really miss it. Okay, take care.
Thanks, Allie. Hey, Mark, you want to come off mute? Or I don't know if Jan is still with you. If not, you got to come off mute. Mark, you got to turn on your mic. We'll give him a second. Jan, if you're the technician, turn on the mic.
Speaker, it's the same thing.
There you go. You're on.
You're on now. Are we on?
Okay. Just before you get started, Mark, would everyone else keep their muted so we can hear Mark and Jan? Go ahead.
Okay. If you guys can hear me, I'm having trouble and I can't seem to turn the volume up on this machine, but
we can hear you fine. We can hear you fine.
Okay. So hi, everybody. This is a little different for Thanksgiving, but I'm glad you put this together, Uncle Dan. So let's see. What are we going to do? About a recent memory of Thanksgiving. A good one would be a few years ago in Marlow. Some of you were there. I think the Mises were there. And we had a redneck turkey dinner because it was raining and we were frying a turkey outside. We needed to cover it. So we put up a piece of scaffold with a rowboat on it. And then inside was kind of formal. Jan had the table set. I think there must have been around 17 or 18 people. And the only thing she regretted was that we were still working on the house in Marlow and one of the lights was just a work light in the next room. So that's my Thanksgiving memory. And of course, all sorts of other ones. And I also think a lot of times about what Ann Allison just said about Asher Oak. And I do remember that hutch with all the pies on it and the good times we had there. for future and things. I don't know if everybody knows this. Amber was recently married. She just married her husband, Mike. They had planned to do this in next October, but Mike is going to be deployed to Africa for a year, and he wanted to be married before he left. So they did this last week. Still planning now to have a huge bash in Marlow, New Hampshire, where they wanted to get married and renew their vows when they do. And that's going to be 2 years from now. So you all might make that. We'll see. So yeah, we got 2 more grandchildren. We got 7 grandchildren now, which makes me pretty happy. And Nico and Shelby are the new ones. And Jan's really excited because Nico's a boy, and now we have a grandson. So that's what's going on. I'll let Jan do some talk.
No, I don't want to say anything. I'm just listening.
Oh,
I'm very
she's
grateful for everybody.
She's still crying since
I know.
Amber got married. It's gonna be all right. All right. Well, I love everybody, and we'll turn it over to somebody else.
Thank you, Mark. Okay.
Turn
So-
off.
Okay. Dennis and Sue, you've been patient, and then we'll do, after Dennis and Sue, we'll do the Willers. So right after Den and Sue get finished, April, Dawn, and Carl, you'd be up next. Go ahead, Den. Or Sue, you got to turn the mic on.
I did.
You're on. You're on.
I got a technical question.
Yes.
Is there any way I can see all the people at the same time?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now, there's like 5
Yes.
screens on the
Yes.
right. I can see your instructions loud and
Yes.
clear.
So the short answer is yes. Take a breath. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Yay. Okay, good. All right, now we're cooking.
Now you got to remember the slide that I had up there that I took down. So there was 3 things I met.
I've had time to memorize it.
Okay, go ahead.
The queen is first.
Okay, as she should be. Thanksgiving memory. There has not been a bad Thanksgiving in my life that I can recall, but one that was memorable was alluded to by Phil, and I think Mark, not one of the Barley kids, in Asheroken. It was 1967. We had just come home from Germany, and Dennis was on his way to Vietnam, and your mother was having a little family gathering in Asheroken. I had forgotten about the monstrosity with all the pies, but that was definitely part of it. But what I remember more is the day before Thanksgiving, when your mom went grocery shopping, and she had this enormous station wagon, which was not unusual back in the day. And she came home with that cart loaded with more food than I had ever seen before or since. And then, of course, she proceeded to cook it all. So she was one amazing woman. But more recently, my favorite Thanksgivings were with the kids when we went down to the Outer Banks, particularly when we rented one house that we rented several times called Ariel. That was our favorite house, and we all need to buy lottery tickets so we can buy it. It was fabulous with the ocean in front and the bay, the sound behind us, and it was just wonderful. So those will always be favorite memories, I think, for Thanksgiving. And what I'm grateful for, most of all, I'm grateful for this guy who has turned out to be a pretty good COVID companion, all things considered. We're still talking, we're still laughing, we still yell a little, but it's normal, so we're good. I'm grateful to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and God bless America. My most immediate hope for the future is just to be under the same roof with my kids and grandkids. That's what I want. And to see all of you as soon as we can. This has been wonderful. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Sue. Dan?
Well, if you look over my shoulder, you'll see the turkey that Amy mentioned. He's on display and will be every time we have a Thanksgiving. Later, he'll move from here to the dining room where Susan will be at one end of the table and I'll be at the other. My favorite memory of Thanksgiving, I have lots of them, but the one I remember the most, that meant the most to me, is both Charlie and I, we went off to LaSalle and then we went off to the Citadel. When I went to the Citadel, I didn't play football the first semester. Therefore, I did not get a Thanksgiving vacation. The second year was different. So my Thanksgiving, my sophomore year, was the first time I was able to have Thanksgiving since high school. And of course, I was surrounded with family, and really the first time I was able to spend time with so many of you that are on the screen. And I will always remember that, because that freshman year, I got home for Christmas and I got home for Easter, and I got home for the summer. The second year was a little better. Now, what am I thankful for? I would say I'm thankful first that I have more than one guardian angel. You know, I should be dead about 10 different times, the things that I went through, but I'm grateful that my guardian angels have looked over me. And I think my mother and my grandmother might be behind part of that. And I'm very thankful for the family that we have and the people that are on this screen and those that aren't. Very, very fortunate. I'm the oldest Kerr from my father's clan that has lived to be 77. My father died right before his 74th birthday, and I can remember him being so proud because he had been the oldest Kerr up till that time. So I have now got a new hat to wear, and I'm happy about that. My wife is telling me I'm getting boring. My hope for the future is that this country gets back to the Constitution and realizes that in God we trust. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Den. If you could, Sue, if you could mute the mic, and we'll turn it over to the Willers clan.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I'll let you start, Mom.
You let me start. So I guess my favorite Thanksgiving memory is one that you guys got a little sneak peek of in Uncle Danny's email. It was probably, I believe it was the first Thanksgiving after Joanne had passed and Dad was going through a rough time. And we went to Uncle Danny's and had Thanksgiving, and we put on, I guess it wasn't the first Thanksgiving play that we had done. I believe it was the second. The first one we did in Dad's basement, but it was so much fun, and it was great reliving that memory again in that email. It just brought joy during a time when there was some sadness, I guess. So, and it became kind of a family tradition. So that's definitely one of my favorite memories. Something I'm grateful for having such a wonderful, huge, extended family on the Kerr side and on my mom's side, and for all those people in my life that aren't maybe technically blood family, but have been brought into the loop in my life and made an impact. And I'm grateful that they're there. My hope for the future is to get to see everybody again soon, for this pandemic to kind of be over and things to go back to a new normal, but to be able to embrace and see all my family and friends. And although this is a wonderful platform, I prefer in-person hugs and kisses as much as I personally can.
Yeah.
So, you want to go, so?
I have the same things as you do. My favorite memory is definitely, actually, I take it back. Not the same thing. My favorite Thanksgiving memory was sitting and watching the biscuits that one year, just like in the oven, like she didn't want to put the timer on, so me and Madison and Grace had to sit and watch the biscuits to make sure they never got burnt.
Where was that, at Uncle Danny's?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun. Not in a sarcastic way, but like, yeah, genuinely, it was a lot of fun. Thing that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for seeing you guys this year, really. I wasn't really expecting to go on so many calls today, but it's a lot of fun to see you guys all again, and I'm really grateful for that. And my hope for the future is to see you guys again. I'm not being too creative here. It's pretty basic, but yeah. All right, you want to go down?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I have, I guess, two quick memories, I guess. So when I was about 3 or 4 years old, my mom brought this up to me this morning. So when I was about 3 or 4 years old, we had a large family gathering for Thanksgiving. And when we sat down at the table, I had my grandmom there, my grandaunt there, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, and we were all there. And they sat down at the table, and I proclaimed that I wanted to say grace. And I was 3 or 4 years old. And everybody says, all right, we'll let Carl say grace. And I'd stand up and I said, grace. And that was it, right? And I thought that was the way grace is supposed to be said. You said grace. But now I have a daughter, Grace, so it's wonderful to have still grace in my life. My second favorite memory, my second memory is Dawn and I's first Thanksgiving together. We were living in Greensboro, many hours away from our families. I was working that year, and I guess so was she. And I wasn't sure about what I was going to do for Thanksgiving. My roommate's mom was coming down to cook a dinner, but I had the opportunity to spend it with Dawn, and it was wonderful. So that was really nice Thanksgiving as well. Things. What I'm hopeful for the future is that our family continues to see great prosperity. That things continue to grow, and that we find new ways to love each other and new ways to be together. COVID's found new ways to rip us apart, but I found that COVID's also making us find new ways to be closer together. So, this is how God works, right? This is how things get challenged. This is what we do, right? And we will get over this, and the future will be better. So, thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Nothing's coming at the mind at the moment.
It's
We'll come
okay.
back to you. I have to happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I think that I have to agree with my mom. One of my favorite memories was definitely being the director of the Thanksgiving play for since I was was it 8? It was a long time. I was the and I loved it every year. I loved just coming up with new stories and having the reluctant pilgrim. I loved making all those memories, and it was really fun. And that's probably one of my favorite highlights of Thanksgiving. I also really loved making the croissants, because when we made croissants, I absolutely adore them. So I loved making them and eating them. They were they're one of my favorite things for Thanksgiving. I'm really thankful for all of you guys, because I love you all. You all are family, and I miss you so much, and I miss seeing everybody and not being able to all sit down and eat food together and I don't know, talk and catch up because of this pandemic. And I guess that kind of goes into my hope is that this pandemic slows down, and that eventually we're all able to be together and see each other, because I miss you all,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Beautifully said. Thanks much. Okay, so Dawn, if you can mute, and we're going to try over to Andrea and Rich, and then after Andrea and Rich, why don't we give Phil? No, I'm sorry. Why don't we give Linda and Claude another chance as well? Go ahead, you guys. Go ahead, Rich. Andrea, go ahead. You're on.
Okay, you're starting with the youngest this time, huh?
I still think I got the youngest.
Yeah, I think you are. Absolutely. I just want to say thank you so much to Danny for sending this email. This was such a surprise to be invited into sharing Thanksgiving with you. We rarely get to see you all, and I see everyone's kids that are older, that are so much older I don't even recognize. And it's just wonderful though to see all my cousins and to be able to share this day. So Danny, I just say thank you so much. We're very grateful for every positive thing that's happened during this negative year. One of the things, Rich and I are actually just celebrating Thanksgiving together by ourselves this year. Lauren's at her boyfriend's house, and Megan actually is in the process of moving, and her big news is that she and Jacob are getting married next year. So yeah, we're really thrilled. We've got a great son-in-law coming on board with us, and I would say that I have to just pipe in here and say, I don't know if Val and Phil have already spoken because we were late getting on, but one of the things that you have your traditions, and I think with the Menzies for the last 50 years, what's been going on, Phil has a Menzie Thanksgiving. And this would have been about the 50th year that we're doing it, but we're not doing it this year the same. But I wanted to just give a heads up to Val and Phil, and thank you for helping us to make memories the same way that the Kerrs have made memories. Just looking forward, we all have a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be grateful for. And I just wish you all the best. It's wonderful to see your faces. Thank you so much.
Rich,
I
did you want-
second everything Andrea said. The families are wonderful, and it's great to see everybody who I haven't seen in many years. And God bless everybody.
Thank you much. Okay, Linda and Claude. Linda and Claude, you want to give it a try? Okay, looks like they're still looking for that mic switch. Oh,
No, they
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
unmuted. There's something with their sound because
think
they're
if-
not
if you-
indicated as muted.
If you can unmute their phone on the bottom there, can you unmute that? Because that's the one that they're using to speak is their phone.
okay, on their phone, that would be something that they would have control of. I don't have any control.
As the
over it.
host, actually, Uncle Daniel, as host on Zoom, you have the technology where you can unmute people. So you would go
No,
to participants.
Alex, they're on their phone. I can't unmute their phone.
It's listed though. Is it on participants and you can unmute the phone on participants list?
Let's give it a check. Let's see here. Normally I can do that. Just bear with me a second. I've got a very large
Way to
group.
go, Alex.
I've spent a lot of time on Zoom in the last 8 months.
Let's see here. I am looking for them. No, Alex, it does not appear. That was certainly a good try. I appreciate it. Okay, all you could do is you could try, but thanks for that suggestion. I have nothing on my screen that would indicate that there's nothing next to their phone when I look up their name. So, okay, guys, we'll give them another try, and I think we're up to Anna. Anna, you got to unmute your phone.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, hi. I've never been on a Zoom meeting before, so this is my first time. I let Harrison do that. So Harrison wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. He went over to his dad's house, but I wanted y'all to know that. He's dressed up in a bow tie and everything. My favorite memories are just every time my parents have provided for me every Thanksgiving, no matter what, no matter who we're with, whether it's from the family from the South or the family from the North, whether it's in Fort Bragg, which I remember great memories there. But just wherever we were, we always had a good Thanksgiving with good family around, and we were always thankful. And so it's not just one single memory, it's every single Thanksgiving has been a great memory with my family. I guess what I'm hopeful for is that we can all get back together soon, because this kind of stinks being apart from everyone and feeling isolated and stuff. But I know we'll get back to it, and I miss all of you so very much, and I hope to see you all very soon. Hi, Nolan. I get to talk to Nolan sometimes. I make masks for her, and so but yeah, it's good to see you, Nolan. So all right, well, that's all I have to share. Thank you again for this, Uncle Danny. This is great. And I miss every single one of you so much. It's so good to see you all on this video chat.
Thank you so much, Anna. If you could mute your mic. And Xander, if you want to join in now, you can.
Sure. Hi, everybody. It is so nice to see everybody on this call. I was a little bit late thanks to a cooking kerfuffle, as to be expected on Thanksgiving. But nothing is burning now. Nothing is smelling in my kitchen, and everything is fine. Thanksgiving memory. Some of my best ones have already been shared. I mean, loading ammunition before dinner in Marlow. Getting snowed in so that the Thanksgiving turkey trot 5K in Manchester ends up getting curtailed, which makes my running time look great. When it was like 10 degrees in Manchester, and I could go on and on. But yeah, I was so excited about a New Hampshire Thanksgiving. I bought a plane ticket 6 months ago, which then obviously didn't happen. But the things that I am thankful for, I am certainly thankful for all of you. And I am thankful for this technology that at times I have grown frustrated with. As I said, I've been on it all the time as I teach and whatnot, and I shake my fist at it, but I also love it. And I love that for one of the silver linings of the crisis this year is that because of things like this, I have gotten to connect and see friends and family that I would normally otherwise not get to see on holidays or otherwise. So this is wonderful. And this was not pre-planned, Uncle Dennis, but I'm gonna mute my video for a second because no joke, the Constitution is my default picture in in Zoom. So to your comment, I just wanted to say that. And I wanted to add to Cousin John's comment, because George Washington did declare the first holiday for Thanksgiving. He called it a day of Thanksgiving for our Constitution. But the holiday was actually established nationwide by Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. And at the behest of someone from New Hampshire, I have her bobblehead, it's unfortunately not in this room, but thank you, New Hampshire Historical Society, Sarah Josepha Hale, petitioned for years to Abraham Lincoln and other leaders that there should be a day of national coming together and not just have it be a New England holiday. And it was Abraham Lincoln who declared that the last Thursday in November should be a national holiday, a secular and not state-based one that could bring together a country that was so divided. So in that sense, this holiday, I think, really does matter this year of all years. And so I just wanted to note that as well. So thank you all. As I said, it's so good to see your faces. And I do look forward, as much as Aunt Susan went like this when mention of a big party was made. Maybe we can help you plan that next one so it doesn't all fall on you. But it would be wonderful someday to get to see you all, hopefully sooner rather than later. So.
Thank you, Xander. I don't know if you heard the story earlier today. I told about the attack of the 50-foot woman socks, which are a proud addition to my wardrobe.
Well, I don't have those on today, but if you can see those, probably not. My socks have portraits of my turtle on them. People may get dogs on their socks. No, mine have my turtle. That's my festive wear for today.
Okay. Thanks, Xander. Okay, Nolan and Rob sitting there patiently. And I think they've got you and I've got Susan and then anyone else that I may have missed. So Nolan, you got to come off mute. On someone.
Lots of time on Zoom, so I know the drill there. Hi, everybody. It's great to see all of you. In true Kerr fashion, I'm here a little late, but in earnest. Gosh, what am I thankful for? This guy. Gosh, my health, my job, my friends, a lot to be thankful for. Love being a Kerr, love all of you. Also, let's see, this guy here, Jazz, my best friend. Yeah, so lots to be thankful for. I'd also like to say that I'm grateful to my mom for all the many things that she got right, including giving me her beautiful name, Noelle, which is now Nolan. So Nolan to my family, but Noelle to all my coworkers and friends. So very special. And I guess that sums it up. How about you, hon?
Yeah, no, that does it too. Happy for our health, for our life, you know, basically for our ability to keep working and keep safe and, you know, keep having the lifestyle that we love with family and friends, and look forward to getting back to closer contact with family and friends. But love life. Yeah. And thankful for it.
It's pretty good at the Gillises, and so we're very fortunate there. So thank you. I'll unmute and let the next person come on. But
well, before you go, I got one little vignette for you there.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was so glad that you mentioned your mom, and before your grandma Kerr, she kind of knew she was in the last chapter of her life. And as many of you know, she sat down for a series of interviews with me for 30 minutes, and I put them on CDs. And one of the interviews, I used to call her up on Stony Brook, said, "Mom, I'm coming over. I want you to think about a topic, and that's what I'll interview you on." And one of them I interviewed her on was how she named the 8 children. And I learned things that I never knew. Like Allison was named after a character in Anne from Seven Gables or something like that.
Oh, Green Gables, yeah.
Green Gables, okay. And I always thought your mom was named Noel because it was around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And that's not actually why. It was Leon, your grandma's maiden name, spelled backwards. First time I heard it.
I love that. I'm not sure why she passed the name on to me, but as you can see, my email is Leon Sillig, so a little tribute there. But that is a neat story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one you're tired of all hearing is that if it wasn't for Aunt Beatrice, I would have went through life as my first name being Basil. But when she visited Vivian in the hospital before I was born, said, "You can't give him that name, Basil. They're going to call him Oregano." That's how I ended up. So I'm very grateful for the many contributions of Aunt Beatrice.
Yes, thank you, Aunt B.
Okay, Claude, and with assist from Alex, if she's got anything else that's not up our sleeve, and I'm not going to forget Susan North, but Claude and Linda, if you want to give it one more try, you can. If you don't want to give it one more try, I certainly understand. And Alex, I can't think of any other possible thing that I can do to get them connected. So, okay, we'll let them try one more second. And I think I've gotten everybody but Susan North.
Hi, everybody. This has been really fun. It's really interesting because none of us have changed a bit. All right, so the kids got a little big, but we all look the same. I think that's great. Keep it up. So it really is nice to see everybody's faces. And when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of Dan and I going into our office on 1633 Broadway, and we actually used to see the parade with the balloons going right by. And we used to be at the 3rd floor, and we used to drink mimosas and have bagels, and all the people down on the street were freezing and wondering where to go to the bathroom. So that was kind of nice for all of us. But nothing will ever top the Willers production of the first Thanksgiving in my very own living room. Just to, if you haven't seen it, Dan put it up. If you haven't seen it, I strongly urge you to watch it, because to watch Dan trip out of the Mayflower and rip it, if he was on that boat with them back then, they would have never made it to Plymouth Rock. I mean, it was great, right, guys? I see you laughing. I know. I never get tired of it, and neither does my mom. And she keeps yelling, "Dan, you broke the boat! You broke the boat!" I mean, it just doesn't get better than that. So that is definitely one of my favorite memories. And I've had a lot of Kerrs here for Thanksgiving and for Christmases, and it never got old. So it was really kind of nice. What am I grateful for? The man upstairs and the other man upstairs. He's in the corner over there. So I'm grateful for him and all my blessings and my family. And I look forward to seeing my new great niece that is going to be born. My niece on my side of the family is pregnant. So I'm happy about that. I need all the nieces and nephews I can get. So when you don't have children, that's what you rely on. What are my dreams? I'm dreaming of our vacation. I don't care if I have to go in a hazmat suit. Dan and I are going to Jamaica in the end of December into January. We are going, I don't care. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then I hope to come home, and hopefully by then my mom will have had the vaccine and I can go see her in Florida, because if it wasn't for Alexa, I wouldn't have seen her face in almost a year. So that's kind of tough. So what else? Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to kicking 2020 to the curb. That works for me. And I'm looking forward to having another big Kerr get together in our backyard. They seem to be pretty successful in the past. So yeah, so I'd like to do that. So with that, I just want to say God bless America, and P.S. to Dennis, I like the mustache. So have a great day. We're not having turkey today. Dan had a little surgery on his dental work, and you know, it's every Italian's dream. We're going to have lasagna today. So I think it's great. I made homemade lasagna. You guys enjoy your turkey. We'll have ours at Christmas. So take care, everybody. this was great.
Thank you, Susan North. And we've, through the wonders of technology and Italian ingenuity, I believe, Phil, if you turn on your mic, I believe you figured out a way to link in Linda.
Yes, go ahead, Linda.
Okay, am I on?
Yes, you are.
I'm on. Okay. Really, really sorry about all this. Obviously, being the matriarch of this whole gang, I have to apologize for being technologically impaired or something. Anyway, my memories go back prior to Asheroken. I was in the convent at Asheroken, so my memories are at the Huntington House. And I think about all of us gathering together in that large dining room with that long table. And I remember, you know, Aunt Vivian and Uncle Bob, and of course, Elvira in the kitchen, and Father Grundon and Uncle Freddie. I remember having a wonderful time. We just ate and ate and ate. So my memories go back to Huntington, and it was a very special time. And I've even written a story in my memoirs about my time at your house in Huntington. I'm most grateful for my family, your husband here, and my friends, and very, very grateful for the gift of my health. I have had cancer, and I am in remission at this point in time, so I'm extremely grateful for my wonderful doctors and all those who supported me and got me through that. The future, certainly the end of the COVID and world peace. You know, I just hope that there is peace in our country and in the whole world. And sending love to all of you. Thank you, Dan, for putting up with us being able to do this. So appreciate our time together today. It's been a very special way to celebrate Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. And did Claude want to add something?
You want to say something?
Well, I recognize a lot of the names of the Kerr family because I have all of you on Ancestry.com. And it was good to see some of connecting the names with all of you. My memory of Thanksgiving is mainly at the McCarry Circle. Every year we would get together, and they all kind of merge into one on a day like today. My thing that I'm most thankful for is that Linda has been able to overcome the cancer that she has fought, and it seems to be in continuing remission. I'm looking forward to my 90th birthday next year. That means that hopefully the virus will be gone. We had planned to go on a trip somewhere to celebrate Linda's conquering of the cancer. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how I hope I could reach it, because I'm now having Parkinson's disease, and that limits me somewhat. But I'm still looking forward to going on that trip with Linda to celebrate her cancer cure. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Thank you, Claude. Thank you, Linda. That's great. Okay.
Thank you, Phil.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, thanks, Phil, for your assist. And I think I've gone completely around the room. So if I have missed anybody, please just put your mic on and say what you'd like to say.
Uncle Dan, I think that I see my brother at Sean's house. Robert had walked into the picture. Is that Robert? No? Okay, it's not. I couldn't tell who that was.
Mark, that's Mitchell. It looks a little like Robert. You know, he could be.
Robert's on his way.
Robert's on his way. He could have just crawled out of the woods, but that's actually Mitchell. About an inch taller than Robert.
But you know, Robert, he'll be here like 5 minutes before we eat. He'll be on
Robert's
time.
waiting for the dinner bell.
Right, Jan? Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys.
As everyone sits down, he will just come in at that exact moment.
That's the happy wanderer. We love him.
Please give him a hug for us.
Oh, no. He reminded me that Bambi's dad still has to survive the weekend. Got Friday and Saturday before the end of the month. So He's still out
As
there.
long as he doesn't eat my hostas, I don't care.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay, so before we close, I just have one little bit of closing. If anyone else wants to share anything.
Yeah, Sean, when you were talking about Thanksgiving at your house too, you're a wonderful chef. And Laura, your
Yes.
pies are outrageous. So
Thank you.
we miss that too. Skip is now making pies.
Oh,
So
yay, Skip.
he made an apple blueberry pie.
How much
which
do you charge?
decided to spill all over the oven he had just cleaned.
Of course it does. You have to put,
and I bought a pumpkin pie. So I have to cook today, but it has to be better than last year because last year we were going to be by ourselves because I was sick. I thought I bought this thing that was supposed to be for 2 people and a turkey dinner. And it was like Turk fooey or something. It was all artificial, no meat involved. So I bought a turkey weeks ago, knowing that we were going to be by ourselves. I got a small breast, but it's going to be real meat. Not as good as yours, Sean, but it'll be meat.
If I may make a suggestion, given how we've all talked about food, a perhaps family project over the course of the next year. Food is such an important thing in this family. We all have so many great memories for it. Maybe we should all try and write down our favorites and we can have the Kerr family cookbook. Because we all have sort of special things that we all make. And I think that would be lovely. And then we can, give it to Amber in a celebration of her new nuptials, but we can all make use of it. So I am going to, dare I do this, hereby volunteer to be the collector of those recipes. So how about to be continued? I'll be in touch and let's try and do that so that by Thanksgiving 2021, we can put that together. How's that sound? And then take pictures of your food too, because we can make it like with photos. So that's my suggestion.
Great ideas, Ada.
I think Susan North gets her own chapter, please.
Yes, there'll be Susan on desserts, Susan on lasagna, Susan on
I'm all for it. You wouldn't have to ask me twice.
And Robert, Mark, give Amber a big congratulations for us.
Yes.
We're really happy for
And
her.
And Sean, just to reiterate what Ali said, we were hoping early on in the year that we would see you guys at your place for Thanksgiving, not only to see you all in person, but for all that great food. So that will happen again, I hope.
Thank you.
We were ready for you. We bought 2 birds.
Yeah. I froze one this morning, so. But,
Hey, Dan?
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I forgot to mention one thing about the Menzies. As far back as I can remember, and that's all the way back to Floral Park when I was a little squirt, I used to love for the Menzies to come to visit for lots of reasons, but one of them was Uncle Gene used to always bring a box full of cannolis.
Oh.
That made the day.
But of course.
So don't forget the cannolis.
Leave the gun, take the cannolis.
Okay. Okay, anyone else? Before I got just a little closing comment.
The cookbook is a great idea. Carolyn has published 2 cookbooks, so she can help facilitate some of that, I think.
I noticed she left the room when the cookbook
She
was
did.
written.
She did. That's why I can say that, Susan. She's Carolyn's made about, I think Carolyn's at about 5,200 masks she has made and donated. So
Okay.
And they're lovely.
Yes, thank you.
They're unique. Yeah, they're unique.
Yeah, that was very thoughtful. She made Susan like those Yankee masks. So,
Oh, wow.
okay.
I got footballs and West Point won this weekend, so it was good.
Nice.
She wouldn't use, Danny, she wouldn't make the one for you with the fabric I bought. So you came out really on the good end.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else want to share something before we conclude? So just a couple of things before we close. One is I have recorded this, so it'll take about an hour and a half because I got to download it from Zoom and then I got to upload it to YouTube and then I got to send an email. Xander, if you can think of a quicker way to do it, just send me an email, but that's what I'm going to do. It's probably going to take about an hour and a half, so look for it in your email boxes. Please feel free to share it with others. And I think this is, after all, when they set up this day, and thank you also, Xander, for the little history lesson. There also was the act of Congress during the Roosevelt administration, that I think formalized the actual date.
Yeah, because he tried to change it and everyone got mad. So then they made an act to change it back to the original date of the last Thursday.
So anyway, he wouldn't have been the first president to anger people. But anyway, let's conclude. Let's conclude with a brief little prayer here. So you may just pray along silently if you like. This is after all a day. And if you look back at Washington, they recognized it was thanking God for the formation of this country. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this special day, a day to remember your goodness to us. We thank you for a roof over our heads and more than enough food to eat. We thank you for the relationships you have given us, for family and friends. We thank you for all the bad experiences we've had as well. We have learned that you were there for us all the time. For all these things and other gifts that you have given us, we thank you all. Amen. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Love
you,
you guys.
everybody,
Take
and
care.
happy holiday.
God bless.
Thank you.
Enjoy your turkeys.
Or
Or not.
lasagna.
Or lasagna.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, all.
Love you.
Good luck to your
Take care.
cannoli.
Bye-bye. I'm going to cry. I was so happy.
That's great.
Bye, all.
Allie,
Y'all
there's
take
something.
care.
Allison, hold on a second. There's something I want to show you. If you could just wait for me 30 seconds.
Okay.
My phone died.
Aw. There's the general. Hey, Susan.
Hey. Hi, Nolan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows what this is, guys?
Be a
Hello,
blow
good.
50-foot woman.
I decided I had to stay on for this.
Let's
Oh, I
see.
don't know how visible everyone can see this, but at my doctoral party, Aunt Allison, you know, I always like Uncle Charlie, but I think it changed when Uncle Charlie married Aunt Carolyn. I think all the frogs that he had, including his frog toilet seat, were purged from the house.
Oh,
It's a
Susan,
mystery. It's a mystery. They all disappeared.
yeah. So
Free frog.
I still kept my affinity for frogs, and when I graduated from NYU at my PhD party, my sister Allison presented me with this gift, which was the frog wearing the doctoral outfit. And then the other thing that Allison gave me, I was talking this morning to a priest, and we were doing the morning prayer, and he was talking about, Dan, how do you do all these things at once? And I was very mindful of this gift that Allison gave me, these different balls to juggle in the air. So thank you, Ellie.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you.
Love you all. Thanks, everybody.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Yes.
Take
Take
care.
care.
See you, Dennis. And
Be
I like
safe.
the mustache too.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Yep.
Doesn't grow up here anymore.
Yeah, well, it looks good though. My hair doesn't grow here. It's all falling out like mom's did in the back. I parted my hair and looked in the back and it's like bald. So I inherited that from mom.
Okay. I think what I probably should do is, before this continues, I could keep it on, but we're going to stop recording here.